the worst sin most people ignore. You think the worst sin is murder or stealing or adultery. That's what most people believe. But what if I told you the worst sin is something almost everyone watching this is doing right now? Something quiet, something hidden, something that doesn't look dangerous, but slowly destroys your relationship with God. It's not loud, it's not obvious, and that's what makes it dangerous. The sin is ignoring God. Yes, ignoring God, not hating Him, not denying Him, just ignoring Him, living your life, making your plans, waking up, scrolling, laughing, working, stressing, and never truly giving Him your heart. You see, most people don't wake up and say, I'm going to rebel against God today. No, they just forget Him. Let's be real for a second. How many times have you said, I'll pray later. I'll get serious about God tomorrow. I just need to fix my life first. But tomorrow never comes. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly, God becomes a small part of your life instead of the center of it. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Ignoring God is dangerous because it feels normal. You're not crashing. You're not suffering immediately. Life seems fine, but spiritually, you're drifting. And the scariest part, you don't even notice it. In the book of Revelation, God says something shocking. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. So then, because you are lukewarm, I will spit you out of my mouth. Think about that. God didn't say He rejects the people who hate Him. He warned about the people who are lukewarm, people who believe but don't fully follow, people who know but don't act, people who hear messages like this, feel convicted, and then go back to normal life. Let me talk to you directly. You might believe in God, but you barely talk to Him. You might pray, but only when things go wrong. You might go to church, but your heart is far from Him. And deep down, you know it. You feel it when you're alone, that quiet emptiness, that lack of peace, that feeling like something is missing. That's not random, that's your spirit, starving. Look at Adam and Eve. They didn't just disobey God, they chose to listen to something else over Him. And that's what ignoring God really is. It's not always rebellion. Sometimes it's just choosing everything else first. Look at King Saul. God gave him clear instructions, but he partially obeyed. He did some of what God said, but not everything. And because of that, he lost everything. Partial obedience is still disobedience. Look at the rich young ruler. He followed the commandments. He lived a good life. But when Jesus told him to let go of what he loved most, he walked away. Not because he hated God, but because he loved something else more. Why this sin is the worst? Because it separates you from God slowly, not in one big moment, but little by little. One missed prayer, one ignored conviction, one compromise at a time, until one day, you don't feel God anymore, not because He left, but because you stopped seeking Him. How to avoid it? Now listen carefully. This is where everything can change for you. Avoiding this sin is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Start small. Talk to God daily, even if it's messy. Read His Word, even if you don't understand everything. Make time for Him, even when you don't feel like it. Because consistency builds connection, and connection builds a relationship. You don't need to be the most spiritual person in the room. You just need to stop ignoring Him. Replace distraction with devotion. Instead of reaching for your phone first, take a moment to pray. Instead of overthinking your problems, bring them to God. Instead of waiting to feel ready, start where you are. Because the truth is, you will never feel ready. God is not asking for perfection. He's asking for your heart. Right now, in your mess, in your confusion, in your weakness, He still wants you. But you have to choose Him. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because one day, you won't have another chance. And the question won't be, were you perfect? It will be, Did you know me, or did you ignore me? Don't let this message be another video you forget. Let it be the moment you finally turn back to God. Some of you watching this right now, you've already heard messages like this before. You've felt this conviction before, that moment where your chest feels heavy, your thoughts slow down, and you know God is speaking to you. But what did you do? You ignored it. You went back to scrolling, back to distractions, back to the same habits, the same cycle. And now it feels easier to ignore. People believe, a lot of people think, I still have time. I'll get serious about God later. I'm young, I'll figure it out. But life doesn't work like that. Tomorrow is not promised. People go to sleep and don't wake up. People make plans and never see them happen. And it's not to scare you, it's to wake you up. Because the enemy's greatest strategy is making you feel like there's no urgency. The silent replacements. Let's be honest. God hasn't been removed from your life. He's been replaced by social media, replaced by relationships, replaced by money, stress, entertainment. None of these things are evil on their own. But when they take God's place, they become idols. And most people don't even realize it, because idols today don't look like statues. They look like your daily priorities. Check your heart. Ask yourself this. Honestly, when last did you pray, not out of fear, but out of love? When last did you open your Bible, not because you had to, but because you wanted to hear from God? When last did you sit in silence and actually let God speak? If you can't remember, that's the problem, the turning point. But listen carefully. This is not where your story ends, because the same God you've been ignoring has not ignored you. He's been patient, waiting, calling, giving you chance after chance after chance. That conviction you feel right now, that's not guilt, that's grace.